bring in Kayleigh McEnany, Outnumbered co-host and former White House press secretary. Good to see you this morning, Kayleigh. Okay, I can't hear you, but hopefully others and our viewers can hear you. We'll try that again, but let me start with this. Politico has this headline about the Pam Bondi decision on this. They use the headline, How Trump Loses Gen X. They say AG Pam Bondi announced that she wants the prosecution to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione if he's convicted per ABC. Mangione has been charged with the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Bondi decried it as a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination and an act of political violence. I got to tell you, a couple weeks ago, I was traveling through the airport, and there was a young woman, probably in her 20s, who had on a T-shirt that had Mangione's picture on it, and it was as if he were being portrayed as a religious icon, sort of a halo, like he was a saint. Kayleigh, what do we do with the fact that Gen Z or Gen X may not be on the same page about this guy?
It's an unfortunate trend, and it's backed up by polling I've seen. Generation Lab did a poll and found 48% of Generation Z found that this was justified, and another Emerson poll, 41%, said that this killing was acceptable. We know Jimmy Kimmel talked about his staff having, positive reactions to a guy who's an assassin, who assassinated a father in broad daylight. We know there were people offering to pay his legal bills. This is a trend we're seeing. We need to humanize these victims. Brian Thompson was a father of two. He was a man of faith. He was a man described by those he worked with in a New York Times profile as practical, relatable, had the human touch with everyone he came across. He made them feel like they were the only person in the room. That's who this man was, and his life was taken. And good for Attorney General Pam Bondi for sending an unmistakable message. You will not get away with this in the United States of America. The death penalty is back on the table, the same one taken off by Joe Biden for a cop killer and for a man who killed 12 people, including 4 children. The message from the Trump administration is justice will be served.
Kayleigh, I want to turn our attention now to the results from last night, Wisconsin and Florida as well. Let's start in Wisconsin. That Supreme Court race had a lot of money and also a lot of attention. Susan Crawford is the winner by 10 points in a state that Donald Trump won by less than a point just about 5 months ago. Liberals now have a leg up in the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin. George Soros spent money there. Elon Musk spent a lot of money there. And here is Crawford last night on winning.
Wisconsinites fended off an unprecedented attack on our democracy. I never could have imagined that I'd be taking on the richest man in the world for justice in Wisconsin. And we won.
So the results in Wisconsin are thus, and also the voter ID law will be enshrined in the state constitution. That won despite Crawford's victory there. Down in Florida, you had big shifts in these districts, but Republicans won both of them. It's now 220 in the House to 213. Your take overall is what?
Yeah, so Republicans would say this morning, a win is a win. We keep our balance of power in the House. That's what matters for the governing agenda of the president, despite the margins. Now, Wisconsin, when you look at this is a state that the last 3 presidential elections has been decided by less than 1 percentage point. And you have the judge there, who is, of course, no political affiliation, but leans more left, winning by 10 points. So Democrats are taking a huge victory lap on this one, but it may be a little nascent. And this may not be a bellwether, because when you look, Bill, 4 of the 5 last decisions that have been made on the court, in the Supreme Court in particular, 4 out of 5 of them, Democrats have won in 2023, 2020, 2019, and 2018. So despite whatever national trend is coming, you have seen the judges be siphoned off in their own little wing of victories for Democrats. I think the big takeaway, though, Bill, is Republicans have to learn to win without President Trump on the ballot. He's a unique energizer for low propensity voters, for young people, for voters of color, for working class voters. But when he's not on the ballot, Republicans have energy problems. Democrats are angry, they're motivated, and anger is a very powerful emotion when it comes to voting.
It is, especially in these special elections. It's really turning out the base that's most frustrated at the time, which is clearly Democrats here. But Kayleigh, to your point of President Trump not being on this ballot, it was interesting to me the last few weeks that all the ads running there against the conservative-leaning judge featured not President Trump, but Elon Musk. He is now the target the left feels is the most rich for them.
Without question. And this is where it's a word of warning, an early word of warning to the administration, that you cannot give the left low-hanging fruit. because when you give the left low-hanging fruit, the media will pick it every time and run with it. So DOGE, for instance, if you could go back in time, maybe starting with the IRS, a much, kind of loathed entity among the American people rather than USAID. You can't go back in time. What I've seen DOGE do with Brett Baier in particular was a fantastic job at changing communications, being upfront, showing their work as they're doing it. I think they've learned a lesson. But we can't give the left, Republicans cannot give the left low-hanging fruit. They will take it, they will run with it, and that's a word of warning on tariffs as well.
So Musk is saying it's an open book, and check it out online every day. It's posted right there. Kayleigh, nice to see you. See you at noon today on Outnumbered, all right?
Thanks so much,
Kayleigh
Bill. See you then.
McEnany, thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.